Okay, give me just a second here. And boom. Okay, so as the title shows, tonight we're going to be talking about a supplement that was produced for first edition and second edition AD&D, but as far as I know, hasn't been touched again. Now, what is this supplement? Battle system. Yes, AD&D battle system was exactly what you might think it would be. It was a method of mass combat for Dungeons and Dragons, which, when you think about it, D&D started as a supplement for a mass combat game. So, isn't it just natural for there to be at least a supplement for D&D so that you can run these mass battles? So that if in your campaign you have Cormyr go to war with, let's say, the Zentil Keep, then you can do your mass battles on the tabletop. Obviously, if you try and do hundreds of troops on a side in actual combat rules of the game, it'll take forever. Okay, I've got 42 attack rolls coming from this unit. Okay, and then those hit, and plus 4, and then the damage dice, but it's going to these targets. And yeah, it's a nightmare. The idea behind battle system is that it's a way to do this a bit quicker than using the basic system. Now, one thing about both of these is that they borrow a thing from early tabletop war games that modern games, such as Warhammer, don't. In both of these supplements, a single figure on the tabletop represents 10 troops, except for character models and unique monsters where it only represents 1. So, characters and monsters tend to seem a little less powerful on first blush. But anyway, first edition battle system was a little clunky. I mean, a lot clunky. Really and truly, it wasn't that much simpler than just using the basic rules. Say hello to Ralph. Ralph, cut that out. Yeah. Anyway, you had THAC0, you had everything. It was just outrageous. And that's actually where THAC0 came from. It predates 2nd edition. Anyway, you had an entire card for each unit, for each troop. And you had to keep track of all of their spells just like it was the role-playing side of things. It was just a little simplified, and it added rules for formation maneuver, siege engines, etc. But they weren't as simple as they could be, and it really didn't make anything any faster. 2nd edition battle system, however, that was a hidden gem. It was a simple, swift game, easily translated from 2nd edition monsters and characters to battle system, and it was, just about as quick and basic as you can be. Let me go ahead and show you exactly what I'm talking about, but the difference, you'll be able to easily see the difference between these games just by looking at what I'm about to put up here on the board. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Bam. Up here on the screen, right here, is the character block for Ember, a red dragon from the Dragonlance series. And you can see the complexity of that character block. That's almost identical to any troop will have all of this information except for, spells by level. Meanwhile, up here, we have an adult and a venerable red dragon for 2nd edition. Attack dice, armor, hits, command diameter, movement. And command diameter for troops is replaced with morale. And then further notes, which includes, spells, 2nd level and 4th level. And chaotic. It's fire-breathing dragon, breathing a cloud of flame 3 inches long by 1 inch wide. That's where it says breath weapon 8d12 or 5d12. And when you roll your dice for the 2nd edition, it's not totaled up. Instead, you have a chart that goes from 1 to 12. And if you get like a 1 through 3, that's a 0. A 4, 5 is 2, etc. So, for example, the attack die 12 plus 8 for the venerable, that's a d12 plus a d8. That doesn't mean you add them together. It means you take the results of a d12 and the results of a d8. About the only problem that the 2nd edition had is that, well, you needed a lot of all dice. And looking at the people that I game with, that's not a problem. It's a bigger problem getting people to stop collecting dice, really and truly. I mean, drawers full, big old toolboxes full of dice. Yeah, you all know about that. Now, I think part of what prevented 2nd edition from really taking off, I'm going to turn this off, is the fact that it didn't have a dedicated miniature line or a dedicated storyline like Warhammer did. Case in point, Warhammer has had this massively detailed old world until 8th edition, but we won't get into that. End times just kind of irritated me. Anyway, detailed. It had complex interactions between all the different armies, including the 2 different human good armies, the Empire and Bretonnia. D&D, yes, it's got a lot of worlds with a lot of history and a lot of background, but really and truly, a lot of D&D is about making your own world. Now, I do think that the world of Birthright, which was one of the settings for 2nd edition, would have been outstanding for 2nd edition battle system. But then we get into the second problem. It's pretty granular. And by that I mean the difference between a unit of 2nd level dwarf fighters is almost identical to a unit of 2nd level human fighters. No difference in any of their stats. It's very granular. I mean, you've got a D4 for like peasant levy that are armed with improvised weapons where they're only going to cause damage on a 1 out of 4. Up to, as we saw, D12 plus D8, which is good for a single figure of a vastly powerful critter like a dragon, or 10 trolls. Trolls also do D12 plus D8. And again, you've got, unless it's a unique character, each figure represents 10 troops. So your unit of 12 orcs arrayed in your 4x3 rank and file, that's actually 120 orcs. 40 by 30. So that can also throw some people who are, especially those who are used to games like Warhammer, where one troop is one figure. But if there was a way to do, dedicated storylines and have unique troop types, unique figures, unique characters for these troops, I think 2nd edition could have done a lot better. The 2nd edition battle system was a single book, about yay thick. It was paperback, and this nice picture of 2 armies slamming into each other as a priest of some kind was fighting against a warrior on a raised dais or at the top of the battlefield. And if they had a dedicated line of miniatures for it, which at the time it wouldn't have been that hard to do, I don't think. And now would be even easier. And if they had a dedicated world for the battle system, say, revisit the Birthright world of Cerealia, then I think it really could have taken off. I would actually love to see someone get a hold of the rights to the rule set from TSR/Wizards of the Coast. Drop the actual official D&D stuff, and then just create a setting, straight up, make the rules, and then we clip into the third problem with battle system that I had forgotten about until I started talking about this, and that's there was no way to come up with a points value for the troops. But as simple and granular as it is, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, it's really based on, how effective is attack die 12 over attack die 10. They'll help you judge the points value, and then just a little bit of playtesting, and you can tweak that. But yeah, like I said, I'd love to see it. In this day and age of games that are focused on the little squad-based combat, like so many of the games out there, the names just aren't coming to me. There's a whole bunch of them. Fire Team from Warhammer, things like that. I think a larger scale, true fantasy tabletop war game would do pretty well. Anyway, that's about it for tonight. I'd like to thank you for watching, and don't forget the usual like, subscribe, bell icon, yeah. And don't forget to glance in on my broadcast for sculpting for tabletop miniatures and 3D printing, which I've got the link in the description below. And we have a third little visitor here who's kind of creeping around the floor. And what did you just do, Fuzzbutt? Oh, yeah. So don't let Carlton, Ralph, and Shinju down. Play your games, enjoy them, and don't forget to watch my videos. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be holding up my left hand. Yes, my left hand. And I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. When I get to 1 and I see it on screen, I'll know that I've caught up to the lag of YouTube. What? And I can go ahead and shut off. But I'll probably say something goofy and go, Alright. So that's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do I taste, Fuzzbud?